All right, Virgos, last but not least, welcome to October. This is your monthly reading. You are my last reading for the month. So thanks for waiting and your patience. So yeah, just to explain, I usually start with whatever sun sign is for that current month. So basically your birthday month. And I go from there. So Virgos, you were first last time, so then this month you're at the end, and it kind of just keeps rotating. I have thought about like shifting it, maybe trying to do something different, like doing water signs first, air, earth, something like that, but we'll see. We'll see what I feel like. But yeah, we're in October. We're here. Fall is here. October is one of my favorite months, so I'm enjoying it. I usually am not ready for summer to end, but once like I'm finally in October, I definitely, am excited to be there. But this year, I mean, I'm up in the Midwest of the US, and it's been like the summer hasn't ended. It's beginning of October, and summer's just kind of continued on. There was a couple days here and there where it was a little cooler. Maybe the nights got, cooler, but it definitely didn't stick. So we've been having some nice weather. But yeah, so for October, the monthly themes and reflections are relationships, balance, and equality. So that, again, when we think of Libra in the tarot deck, it represents the Justice card. And in that card, you have like the scales of justice. And it's about finding balance between the good and bad, between duality, polarity. It also kind of represents karma and balancing karma. And it is, Libra rules relationships, and a bit to its detriment, Libra can kind of always try to maintain, like avoid conflict to maintain connections, but that's something to think about. But the biggest thing I've been telling people about the themes and reflections is to kind of sit and look more internally and look at the relationship with yourself first. And because it's only your external relationships are only mirroring back what's going on internally for you. And you might be confused by that, like, why? I feel fine, and I feel like, everyone else has the issues. And we obviously know that's not true. If you're listening to these videos and you're in this type of information, you know that we are the creators of our reality. There is, I've also have kind of dug into that for many years too, of like, well, if we're the creators, where does destiny or fate fall into that? And I do also feel like there is destined, fated events, but I do feel like we always have choices. We have the free will to make decisions and to decide, is this something we want or not? And we get to decide that, and we can leave or walk away or change. For the most part, right, in our current world, if you're watching this video on YouTube on your cell phone, for the most part, you have a lot of control, whether about your environment, about who you're in relationship with, so where you want to work. So yeah, that's kind of the themes here. Before we get started, just a plug, if you are interested in a personal reading, you can schedule one on my website, which is linked below in the description. And I noticed there was an issue with my Etsy shop, and it was down for a little bit. I don't know how long. So if you guys did try and go on and you couldn't, there was issues or errors, I did fix that now. So go take a look and kind of find your spiritual metaphysical jewelry here. I am wearing my lapis today. I love lapis, and lapis is one of the stones from ancient Egypt, and it has amazing metaphysical properties to it. So definitely one I recommend if you don't have it. But there's, obviously I put stones in my readings. They're all over my house. I wear them on a daily. I kind of pick my stone jewelry for the day, kind of like you would decide, okay, what do I need today? What energy do I need? What am I happening in my life right now? Do I need maybe some more, manifest some wealth? Am I feeling very emotional? Do I need some emotional support? And then I'll pick my stones based on that. All right, Leos, let's see what's going on for you. Werewolf, exploring wildness. This has come out a lot for many signs this month. So, and this one too, the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. This is crazy. I think these two have come out together. And I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to pull one more just for fun. In Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. That has come out as well. So I am feeling, this has kind of been a trend, but you're a part of this, Leo, but I do feel like you have come out as something that was very difficult. It's kind of like the Phoenix Rising, like you've been through some sort of karmic or divine cleansing, and there could be things in your life where you feel like they were completely just, like ashes, like you had to completely end things. You feel like things didn't work out, but I feel like you're in this place of like pausing to like gain your grounding, kind of gain some perspective of like, whoa, what happened? What do I need to learn from this? How do I need to shift? And how do I need to move forward? Because there is an opportunity to begin again and to rebuild something that's better and stronger. And part of this, I feel like what's tied to this is you're exploring wildness. And I'm going to actually read that for you. Werewolf. Okay, so the werewolf is a kind of shapeshifter, but one that has traditionally had little control over his wildness. In a way, an inner battle between civilization and wild animal nature fights inside the body. The vitality, strength, and freedom of the animal versus the reason, control, and intellect of the man. Which one, though, is the dominant force? What is healthy balance between our animal nature, one that is wild, free, and connected to nature? So it's asking us to consider this balance and to delve into our own ideas of wildness, independence, and custodianship of the planet. When is the last time you spent all day outside? When is the last time you threw your head back and held at the moon? Do you squash the vitality and curiosity of your body and mind sitting all day in front of a computer? So this card challenges you to weave a balance between nature and nurture. So this is really coming out of like the programs, the dogmas of traditional things, like traditional way of thinking. I have to be like everyone else. What's the idea of normal, in quotes? And it's almost like your soul is calling you to kind of get out of the old, stop focusing on the traditional ways of thinking or doing things. And there's a little bit of fight between your intellect to the mind and the heart and the soul, the passion of your soul. So I do feel like that's coming online more and more, that you're feeling this impassioned energy, this inspiration to want to get out and like maybe even recreate your life or start something new or get out of an old job that, is driving you mad, just sitting at a computer. It could also be relationships. Like you're tired of just the old normal relationships. You want a relationship that lights your creativity and inspires you, and there's passion and, connection and deep, emotional communication, whatever it is. So this is an opportunity this month for you to really start listening to those callings, especially after something potentially ended. Again, creating through the ashes here. Okay, we have clarity. Yeah, definitely you're getting a ton of clarity. You may already have found it. Faith, and imagine. Yeah. Like your potential is limitless now at this pinpoint in your life. That's again the Phoenix rising. Like you have such power now. You've kind of this, whatever you went through, literally just like, it was like shedding an old identity, shedding a skin, and like feeling renewed. And there's this new level of having faith that there's new things coming, there's better things coming, but faith in yourself that, you know, the only person we can truly have faith and trust in is ourselves, and that's where trust starts. That's where faith starts. We can't force faith on other people, but there is something about this renewed faith, and I just feel like new good energy is coming in for you Virgos this month. I also heard getting out of your comfort zone is key this month. Like doing things you wouldn't normally do. If there's opportunities for you to go do something with people and you know, again, you're a little like, there's something holding you back, but also it's like, oh, I wouldn't normally do that, but do it. Get out of the house, go out in nature, connect with new people. All right, we have the King of Pentacles first, Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, there's that ending. So this could have something to do with a job. This could also be a collaboration or some sort of connection that you were working on something with someone that could have ended. There could be too much focus on, like someone's focus was literally on the money, or you know, and not enough about, it's like your whys of why you were doing it didn't match up and it was causing challenge. Two of Swords. I also feel like this is a time to cut if you're in denial about something, or we're trying to not see something, or you were kind of overlooking something to like maintain harmony or avoid conflict, that's definitely going to be cut this month. No more of that. Temperance, Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you are definitely walking away from something. You are deciding like you're not going to partake in this anymore. I do feel a little too much of like whatever this is, it's too traditional, it's too, there was just things about it that you had to go against your own truth or yourself to kind of continue to work with these people or be in this group, or in this connection. And I'm hearing like you went along to get along, but I feel like there's new opportunity. Like Seven of Cups can be about like spoiled for choices here, so there could be new things that are going to pop up for you because of this. So it's like almost like you had to end this because it just wasn't aligned with you anymore, for you, the universe, then to like kind of indicate the universe to start opening up some new things, new potentialities, new things you can do. The Devil, the Strength card, and Ten of Pentacles. So this is kind of a small trigger, I feel, but the bigger root here in October, that I feel like we've talked about this for you Virgos, there's like a deep-rooted like family karmic, this could be a belief system, a way of living, trauma, like ancestral karma here, definitely, that you have just been stuck in a way of showing up in the world. Definitely something to do with your confidence here, or lack thereof, obviously, and how you show up. There's something about just, you kind of avoid conflict, you go along to get along, you kind of like slump back into the kind of the shadows, to not put yourself out there too much. But there's definitely something around fear and needing to face your fear about people not liking you, or a lack of confidence, not feeling like you would be able to, like, you look dumb or stupid. And ultimately maybe at a root feeling like you're just not smart enough, I'm not, you know, pretty enough, I'm, you know, don't know how to speak great. There's something here around this. So this could be tied to work or a job. But with the Ten of Pentacles, to me, with the Devil and the Strength, like those three together to me is like overcoming ancestral karma. Like very direct. Knight of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles. So really how you can trace this back is like, look at your parents, your relationship with your parents. How did they show love to you? How did you feel? Did you feel like you were, you know, loved? And maybe you're like, yeah, my parents loved me, but really, like, a lot of families, they don't want to face the truth, right? We're in denial of, well, we'll always say, well, my parents loved me. I mean, they put a roof over my head and fed me, and my mom would stay at home. But did they really, was there true supportive, nurturing love? Right? Knight of Cups. Did they show affection physically? Did they give you space to, for your emotions? Did they, in a healthy way, show their emotions to each other? What was the relationship between your parents? I definitely feel like with the Six of Pentacles, there was an imbalance going on. Someone gave a lot more, and there was a lot of inequality going on in the family space here. And it created a lack of safety for you at the root, which lack of confidence, people pleasing, all of that is tied to feeling like your needs and desires weren't really met as a child, and they were overlooked most of the time. And so the only way you could really maintain that connection is to do what you were told, or shut up, don't say anything, don't cry. You know, that's the old of like kids are seen, not heard. I mean, all of that creates all these really dysfunctional, rooted behavior issues, coping mechanisms. And then the Hierophant flew out, which is exactly what the Hierophant is. It's talking about the traditional way of, these are the rules, this is how you live, we follow these, no one goes outside the lines, you follow the rules, right? There could be a religious aspect too to how you grew up, and why your parents were the way they were, or the rules in the house. But there's definitely, God, I feel like this continues to be something with you, Virgos, and I feel like you're just, why it keeps coming up is you're not really doing what your soul and your guides are asking you to do, and to really look at this and to really change and overcome this. Let's see, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and the King of Swords. So I like this, and really part of this is tied to how you communicate. You know, there's something about your value, and also there's a lesson here, but also like your value and what you see your value as. And I don't feel you believe that your value is as much as you really, as it is, if that makes sense. All right, sorry about that. So where were we? Yeah, it's seeing the value that you deserve. more than what you got, whether it's even your whole life at this point. Maybe you've never fully received the type of love that you, for one, are deserving of, but opening yourself up to this, because also you have to be able to also open yourself up to receive, but to give. And that may be uncomfortable for you. Like physical love or connection might, you know, be uncomfortable for you, but that isn't normal. So, and you could say, well, everyone's different, but yeah, everyone's different because of how we were raised, the love we were shown, how we turned our own needs and desires off. Because if we weren't shown true, nurturing, attentive love as a child, yeah, we don't know what that feels like. But anyways, I do feel like there's something for you to stand up for yourself and really communicate something and like stand your ground around something here. Say what you want, express it, and say, well, this is where I'm going. And you don't need everyone else to jump on your bandwagon or agree with you. You can do this no matter what. And I think that's hard for you. Like, you want to do something that everyone else wants to do. You don't want to be the Lone Ranger. But this is calling for you to kind of pave the path. And at some point, you know, people may agree, some may not, and that's okay. But you need to do what's right for you, Virgos. So, is there anything here? Let's just get one for the Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Yeah, this is about I think you tend to take too much. Again, everyone else tells you what they want and what they need from you, how they want you to act, how they want you to behave. But it's time for you to kind of stand your ground, because it's almost like you're, again, this kind of goes back to people pleasing and just accepting like crumbs from people and kind of making yourself small. But the Seven of Wands is asking you to stand tall, stand your ground, and, you know, stand up for what you want and what you believe. And however that impacts the situation or your future here, I think you just have to be willing to accept that. And that's where the courage, the strength card comes in. All right, Virgos. All right, well, good message here for you all. I am kind of thinking, if you haven't watched the last couple months or missed any of them, I would go back and take a look as well, because I do feel like there's this, and that happens, you know, that definitely does happen a lot, where with certain signs, you know, months will go by and it'll kind of be a repetitive kind of message or story going on. And that's key here, because if it's the same message that continues for a few months, I mean, it's a really strong message then. And I feel like either you're not listening, or you're allowing your fear to not kind of to hold you back, or your patterns. And it's until this is going to continue until you actually do change, or do change your approach, your behavior. Like in this situation, like speak your truth, do what you want to do, even if other people don't agree. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you head out. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.